Hello people of YouTube, and your most inconsistent YouTuber has returned. There a lot of stuff's been happening in my personal life. Don't want to get too much into it, but let's just say I'm still gonna be an inconsistent as ever. But with today's video, as the title says, I will be reviewing Destiny 2 Beyond Light for people who want or are considering buying Beyond Light, but I'm not entirely sure, and I know my review is really late, but I wanted to get a little bit into the Season of the Hunt so I can review, I guess it's a mix of review of Season of the Hunt so far and Beyond Light. And let's start off with Beyond Light. When it first came out, first day, not a DLC issue, but server issue, as Bungie always is. Every time a new DLC comes out, for like the first day, for some people, the first 2 days are always complete shit. Their servers always contacting error codes. And fun fact, Beyond, for people who didn't already know, Beyond Light was a launch title with the new Xbox Series X and S, and so you guys will also know, I am reviewing this on the Series X version. May vary somewhat difference in on the Series S, not by much, but a little bit, and on the Xbox One and One X and One S. Gameplay wise, everything's the same, just mostly the quality of life features. Let's get started. So first 2 days was a disaster. A lot of people couldn't even play, or they kept getting disconnected. I was fortunate enough that I did not get disconnected whatsoever. And I enjoyed the campaign a lot. I generally found the campaign very enticing. The villain was actually unique. Yeah, we did fight against the Fallen once again, but from what I heard, that we should be getting a new enemy type in like 2 years, 3 years, I don't know. So we can only hope. So, the campaign, the characters were amazing. I love the way the villain was portrayed as. By the way, spoiler warning from this point on. I love the fact how the story around the Fallen people don't know and want to know the enemy the Fallen Kel called Pyramid, and she's using the darkness.
Looks like the decks are acting up nearby.
And make her super stronger.
Try out your new power. What do you say?
One of the civilizations that led by Traveler's power, but the Traveler abandoned them, and she harbored anger because they wasn't trying to use the darkness against the Traveler. But she appeared, and our character actually quite a bit, besides more than just 2-3 sentences. So I'm so glad that I can come to know these characters, and I understand why they say that our character doesn't talk that often, because it's too expensive, which they get, but at the same time what I don't get is that Bungie, they make their characters voice every single language, and a lot of people say it'd be better if they could voice it only English, because that's where they're from, and just subtitle it for the other languages. I completely understand, because I love hearing my characters speak, but just because they want to actually voice their language almost like different languages. They have to pay voices, they have to pay like a bunch of different voice actors for male and female, awoken male and female. They gotta pay 6 different actors for a bunch of different languages. They understand that, but lot of people have been say what you want. I don't want to know, but in my opinion, I would agree with so that they should honestly force it only like stuff that's like that. That's just my opinion. Get a new one. And back onto the story, our characters spoke a lot. That I really enjoyed that. They added a new super, Stasis, the Dark, which is our first ever Darkness super. And we see new gameplay that it is a lot of fun. Especially, I'm a Titan main, but I use all three classes, and personally, in my opinion, the Titan is the most fun. The Hunter super is they have two ice sticks that they throw. And the first ice stick will slow down anything in a second. You can see it actually in the gameplay when the random the first ice stick will slow anything. And the second ice stick will create a tornado that slowly freezes everything and scatters it on the ground. The Warlock you can also use the gameplay. You have a staff, you shoot three or four balls of stasis that freezes anything, and shadow. When it comes to PvP, the Warlock is definitely the best one. When it comes to PvE, it has to be maybe the Hunter one. I'm not entirely sure about the Titan one, just because I always use bubble, so I'm not entirely sure if it is useful, but I'm gonna take that risk. I would prefer to use my Titan bubble, so I can guarantee my safety over the ice. But do I know? And all three supers are incredibly fun. I've never had as much fun with a super ever. Like maybe when Destiny 1 first came out, first using supers, I was like, whoa, this is a lot of fun. And ever since, when Taken 2 came out and they added the new supers, I enjoyed them, but after like a week, I'm like, fine, but ain't nothing crazy. And then with Forsaken, they added three more sub supers to the super, I guess. I don't know. They were extremely they were fun, but like not what you wore quickly. The stasis is just generally fun because you're actually changing the environment. Before you get to change the environment, like solar sunspots or art, it was fun, but it wore off. The stasis supers are incredibly fun. And I'm gonna leave and then Beyond Light was an incredible DLC. Some people might question, oh, why is it as expensive as Beyond as Forsaken? Because when I saw correctly, Shadowkeep was $40 and Forsaken was $60, and Beyond Light was also $60. Meaning it should be just as big, or maybe a little bit bigger than Forsaken. So a lot of people are like, should I buy it? If you're on Xbox and you have Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, you have access to all the DLCs for free. Forsaken, you have access to Shadowkeep and Beyond Light. You still need to buy the season passes, but that's only $10. And when it comes, and then also Shadowkeep added was a location that if you have never played D1, it's a new location. But if you've been playing D1, it's just a return up location. Touched up a bit, so it looks very nice and pretty. But it wasn't a new location. So a lot of people were fine with it just because a lot of people liked them. but it wasn't being like after like a month you're like, or maybe even like, okay, it ain't nothing crazy because we've seen all of it. The only thing that was moved to the moon area, it's moved up by expected travel. Also lost sectors, but outside of lost sectors, we pretty much explored everything on the moon already. And Forsaken added 2 new locations, Dreamy City and Tangled Shore. And in my opinion, those were beautiful, but I feel like Tangled Shore and Dreamy City, if they were to combine, they would be as big as the new location that came out with Europa, with Beyond Light called Europa, which is a moon, and it's massive. Some people say it's the biggest map location we've ever gotten. Some people say that it's not, but it's up there. I feel like Tangled Shore and Forsaken and Tangled Shore and Dreamy City are, even if they were put together, in my opinion, they would definitely be as massive as Europa. So that's the plus about if you get a whole new location that no one's experienced in D1 before. We've heard about it, but we've never experienced it until the DLC. And Europa is an icy moon, and occasionally there will be ice storms. Or not ice storms, snowstorms that will obscure your vision, and you won't be able to see anything far away, and it will also slowly push you back. Not much, but it does look really cool. Having a snowstorm just randomly show up and your vision's obscured. Your vision's all obscured, and if you stand still on your sparrow, you get pushed back a little bit. It's really cool, nothing game changing, but it looks really cool. There's ice everywhere. Like I said, it's a completely massive location. Once you start playing the campaign and the quest, you can see how truly massive it is. And also there's this, every week there's a weekly location called, if I pull it up, the Eclipse Zones, which in this week is in the Eventide Ruins, where meteors will randomly come crashing down in certain spots. If there's one thing I could improve about Europa is that they could add another fast travel location, because as you can see, it is pretty massive, and there's 2 fast travel points, the bottom one which is helpful, the middle one which is where everyone goes. But I wish there was one in Eventide Ruins to fast travel there, because it's annoying if you need to go all the way to the top of the map and you have to sparrow all the way over there. Then if you have to go back to the barracks, then you can go back over there, and it just takes forever. And also the new vendors, this location has 2, is the Exo Stranger, which I wouldn't say, I guess, is completely a vendor, but she still gives you stuff, and this is story-wise. And Barracks, which is the main vendor, which gives you your bounties and sabotages and stuff. Which sabotages are a brand new addition to the game we haven't seen before, where it gives you certain bonuses by doing its objective, and depending on the certain sabotage, I will show you in a minute once I have reached barracks. And in the sabotage, there's a bunch of sabotage, which is what it's called. There's quite a few. There's kind of like if you played Season of the Rivals, the vendor that everyone labeled the butthole, which would be there. It's basically the same thing. Tier 1, 2, and 3, or I guess also like Season of the Worthy, that poo-poo season, where you would level up season to tier 1, and then you would go tier 2 and 3, and they would all give you bonuses. Like for example, this one you would get 3. It says advance the collection rate of heal away pieces for the first 30 per day. Next one, and how you can earn them, You have a chance of earning by defeating combatants on Europa that are affected by stasis, and then there's a third one where now if you get precision kills on Europa, you have a chance of earning them. And it goes up to some better ones like this one where it unlocks the pinnacle reward for the Eclipse Challenge, which is a new mission, short mission, so free pinnacle if you can get that far. And then this one where you get a weekly pinnacle hunt challenge. So now it's like the nightmare hunt, where if you do it on mastered, now you get a pinnacle from it. And there's a couple other things like this one, maximize the range of your Europa collectible detector. I still need to work on these. I've been busy doing other things. And there's a bunch of other things you could go for. There's a weekly bounty. You get a second, or this is your weekly bounty. You can unlock the second weekly bounty by doing a sabotage early on. You have 3 Empire hunts, which for me they're free, but they cost healway pieces. If you haven't now completed any sabotage, they're 50. If you complete a sabotage, now they only cost 20. You can grind 3 weapons: the Colorist Force, the Biting Wind, and the Thermal Erosion. The fusion rifle, bow, and LMG. And this, you can buy that. I don't know what that really is. I've never bought it. And you can also grind these other things: the auto rifle, pulse, sidearm, shoddy, and the rocket launcher to get better rolls. And of course, it has the daily bounties and the additional bounties for XP. And it's very unique with the sabotages. I guess not incredibly unique since there's something similar down the street before. But having Varric's return is amazing. I like Varric's as a character, and especially considering we haven't seen him since D1, and then we found out that in D2 in the campaign that the reason there was the whole prison break in Forsaken was because Varric's set everyone free. It wasn't his intention to kill Cade, but nonetheless it's still his fault that Cade's dead. Prison break and Cade was but oh well. What I have is a lot of people that enjoy it. They brought him back with that story. He doesn't really come back. He's like, oh yeah, right. And he's the one who called us Europa because even though he cares for his people, with Hermes is turning them into something that they're not. So he has the authority to tell the free people that will get atoned for what he's done after what they the one downside of the online though, there's not much to grind for to legendary gear. They mostly did grind them. It's mostly the only weapons we get is the local weapons and the raid weapons. That's all we get. So once you find a value of every single weapon from the online, once you get around 9, 12, I don't know, weapons, you're done with all the weapons to graduate. They did tweet out saying that they said there's not much to grab for because we keep bringing back weapons that we in year 1 V2. So if you're coming here just to grab a bunch more new weapons, don't. You're not getting much stuff by the DLC. Highly recommend it. It's still amazing. Grind for it, but the DLC itself is amazing. There's some stuff like the first exotic sword. I guess I can put it plainly, it is a hybrid of a chainsaw and a sword. And now let's get started with the raid. But beyond that, a new raid called the Deep Stone. It's 4 encounters, unless you count the very beginning part of it, then 5 times that. Basically is a snowstorm, but while you're in the snowstorm, you get frostbite, as frostbite and they die. That you get on your sparrow, you open bubble to bubble, so you don't die from the snowstorm. First encounter, that's here. Once you get a hang of it, that encounter is I had tried me and 3 other friends. But it's the first encounter that I've actually did it with less than 6, not including Crota, because that's not a raid, that's a strike. Probably be on veterans. And I was really proud of it. Second encounter, which in day 1 a lot of teams got slapped on, probably not even past the second encounter, where there's 4 bosses on land, and then you can take a space bomb to a space station, and there's 4 more bosses, and then there's these bosses called Scanner and Operator, which you have to basically weaken bosses. They go into a ball form, and you blast them out of space, and just rinse and repeat until the boss is dead, which is very cool. I really enjoyed that encounter. That encounter is very cool, very unique, considering there's 8 of a boss, but we've never fought multiple of the boss. Unless you count Crown of Sorrow, well then technically it's the second, but that one's work. So technically it would be the second raid encounter to have that, but take it as you will.
Allied Elix need flee from the European city.
Third encounter,
Many threats stand in their way.
just like the first encounter, just
the Guardian can help.
it's just added clear,
Yes.
and then well, the first encounter is technically a boss fight, which I'm not sure. Which I actually, my apologies, didn't explain the first encounter. Where in the first encounter, you would have an operator and a scanner, and they would have to work in tandem to do correct call-outs. So the operator can shoot the correct thing, you would have to pass the scanner. The operator can do call-outs and security force to shoot. And they just rinse and repeat, use kill ads, through the correct cores when it's DPS phase, and boom, you're done. Second encounter, like I said, is the actual bosses. Third encounter is just all ad clear, but this time you have a third boss called Suppressor, which he has to suppress the boss, so the people that get the nuclear cores are able to dump the nuclear core. If the suppressor stuns the boss, the nuclear core cannot be deposited, and then he will kill the person using it. And then the scanner has to do the correct call thing to tell where to deposit, and the operator basically has to shoot So a third nuclear core doesn't spawn in. And you just do that like 6 to 8 times, and the counter is completely done. And then the fourth encounter, which you fight Panic. Some people consider the third encounter Panic phase 1, but in the final boss fight you fight Panic for D1 veterans. We fought him twice in D1. We fought him as a strike boss. Then he came back when we got the Rise of Iron DLC. He came back with Siva fight. And we killed him again. And then Beyond Light comes out. And now we kill him again. Like, it's kind of like, yeah, he's a cool boss and all, but after you, like, they just like reusing the same boss and kill twice. It's one thing if they bring back like a strike or something, the same boss, I'll be like, you know, they're bringing it back. But if like it's it's a whole new activity and then they bring back a boss, I'm like, really? So in my opinion, I found that kind of lazy, but that's my opinion. And the final encounter can be easy because the whole raid can be done extremely easy once everyone has good weapons and knows exactly what to do. And the last encounter basically plays out with Panic is part of it. And he has 4 engines. And you have to take out his engine. His engines drop nuclear cores. You can deposit them. So you can deposit the nuclear cores to get, which got to start DPS, you have to deposit all 4 cores. And the normal way is to destroy 2 engines, you get 2 cores, you deposit. But if you're an absolute gamer, then you destroy all 4 cores. You deposit all 4 cores, and then you get an extra you'll get a 3rd DPS phase, which when you start DPS phase, if you do it normally, if you do it less than 4, then you only get 2 DPS phases where you go in, do your DPS, and then you will kick you, and then you will push you back. And then you would go back a second time, and then after that, DPS phase is over. But if you do all 4 cores, because you're an absolute gamer, then you get a 3rd hit, and you go back in for a 3rd and final deeps. But I know Rick Hacker did that for Dado over here doing a raid tutorial, so of course you would have to watch that. But that's pretty much the simplified version of the raid. It's an extremely easy and fun raid. I love it. It's way, in my opinion, way better than the GOS raid the raid that we got with Shadowkeep. Because I do enjoy teamwork, but GOS, in my opinion, just had too much teamwork, especially in the final encounter where you're just swarmed with doing so much. Like the first 2 encounters, piece of cake. 3rd can be easy. You just gotta be really quick. The 4th encounter, you gotta be building, you gotta be including ads, you gotta be Gambit Prime. Like, yes, I love teamwork. That's the point of race will be. It's gonna be a hard activity. But when you're required to do so much teamwork together, it just makes it so much difficult. Because if you have one person that's not good with teamwork, it makes it dramatically harder. Compared to here, where you can literally have like 1 or 2 teammates, but you know, you can have like, I think at most 2 teammates. I could be wrong, maybe, but pretty sure you can have like 2 teammates at most, not knowing what the hell to do, and you can probably do it. I like those moments where somebody can actually like truly show that they're good at either raid or PvE or both. I like that compared to GOS, but you can't really do that because everything requires 2 people. You want to club, you need 2 people build, you need 2 people. For Gambit team, you need 2 people. I just didn't like how much teamwork required. Like I said, I love teamwork. The raid's supposed to be hard, not supposed to be a walk in the park. But I don't know. My opinion, I feel like it's way too much teamwork. Especially for teams that elevate. Yeah, you're like, team with, you're friends with each other. Yeah, fine. All you guys have chemistry. You guys know how to play. Easy. But for people who LFG, that's just, you can probably most likely they're strangers to each other. Yeah, it is way easier, but even if it wasn't easier, I still feel that the raid is better. And the raid loot, the armor, amazing. I love the raid armor, it's amazing. The weapons, they're not bad. It's mostly the slug shot you get from the second encounter that is the main selling point, and also in the final encounter, the raid exotic for this raid is called Eyes of Tomorrow, which is a rocket launcher, which I'll demonstrate right now, where we can lock onto enemies. It fires a volley of 6 rockets and then heat seeks to everything you locked on. Some people call it the reincarnated Gallahorn, where it's not Gallahorn, but it's close to it. But I would say it's more like a baby of Warcliffe and Truth. That's what I would say. Warcliffe is a ton of rockets. Like, rockets or something, and then has the seeking of Truth. So, in my opinion, that is what I would say. All the raid armor is amazing. I love all the encounters. There's also when you're going to the 3rd encounter, you actually are in space. Somehow you still have gravity, but not much fast. But an amazing raid. I love it. And if I were to rate Beyond Light, I would definitely give it an 8 out of 10.
So craving of
highly
power, Eclipse will take it wherever they can.
There's things that could be better.
The darkness promises ruin for
there could have been more
us
weapons.
all.
There could have been more activities to do. But the things that are there are.
Soldiers of Aramis search here for deserters. They show no mercy to those they find. Please destroy them first.
Which have 60 days left, so there's still a bunch of days left, so I'm pretty sure there's still a lot of time. But so far we've seen plays out with the heat from Forsaken. How you remember, Vulcan Saw gets brought back as a guardian, but when you get brought back as a guardian, you have no memories of when you were alive. So he has no. So now he's called the Crow and works on their spider. Tangle Shore, and he has no home except for that because the spider I guess felt bad for him. The man. And basically the hive are like corrupting other hive and problems and stuff. It's like luring them. Probably have to watch it for a better explanation, but more or less like that. And the crow there. Stuff. It's not bad. It's an okay story, I guess. It's a season story, so I don't expect much. they added in the season pass loot is pretty good. They added a hybrid shoddy, which is when you hip fire, it is a pellet, but when you scope in, it is a slug. Unique, really. I like it. And then there's the new weapon that they brought that they made D1 on back in the day. It's Prime, the best hand used that potential to two tabs or one tab that's really left. And now in D2, after using it for a bit, I do have a Hawk Moon. For also if people are curious, I do have the Eyes of Tomorrow. I think I did show it up, but I don't know. The Hawk Moon is the first of its kind to have random rolls. So for people who are curious, all these rolls right here will be different, and when you regain it right here, future drops of the weapon will have random rolls, and its unique perk that it will keep is Final Blows is a part casual shot. Final blows and precision hits with Hawk Moon grant stacks of part casual charge. The final round in the magazine deals bonus damage based on the number of stacks. Stowing Hawk Moon on the final round removes this bonus. So to show you guys how it plays out, let me equip Hawk Moon. It still sounds amazing. If I can get an enemy to show off, Hawk Moon is on all its glory. So if you get a final blow, you can see in the top left that I'm getting less charges. And the last one, you get all 5 damage boosts. If you get all 7, your HP will be tremendous damage. The Hawk Moon, I would say, is average to above average, both PvE and PvP. PvP just is the stacking damage, so you can keep landing precision shots then. It's gonna be nasty. And right here, when you land all 7 shots, you get uber shots, 95 hits. I would say this gun is now surprisingly better in PvE than it is in PvP. People who really want to know how really good it does, you can watch a video that Rick Hackers has made where he takes the Hawk Moon through Last Wish raid. Good video to watch to really see Hawk Moon, hard activity. I love the exotic. It brings back good memories, but at the same time, I'm one of those people that believe they shouldn't bring back D1 weapons unless it's gonna be just as good or better. In this case, I guess it's, I don't know, like it's a mixed feeling. It's because most weapons they bring back, or some weapons that they bring back, are just not as good as the Prime. Like that D1 was amazing. I love it, and now it's just not that good. That's why that's the reason why hopefully I'm like, yeah, it definitely won't be as good as it was in its prime. And as of so far, how the season pass looks for people who are curious, I'm about to enter tier 86. But for people who are wondering how the loot looks, that's what you get. If you buy the patch, you get. That's how the Titan armor looks like. And this is the finisher that you've been seeing. Oh, love that finisher. You get the usual stuff from the season pass. You know, 2 weapons, armor, engram buffs and stuff, ornaments for the armor. This is the sparrow you get. some golf balls, you get an emo little bird. You get another emo victory pose, because of course it's doggy, because they love what is doggy. This is the ornament for duality at tier 100. Which, for people who have played Black Ops 4, Zombies, Blood of the Dead, in my opinion, this kind of looks like the Magma Gat. My opinion. And so far, as Season of the Hunt's only been out for 2-3 weeks, I think, maybe 4, I don't entirely know. That's around there. It is not a bad season. Kind of like with the Season of the Undying with Shadowkeep, it was just undermined by the main thing that was Shadowkeep, in this case Beyond Light. So I don't expect much from it. Maybe other people might, but in my opinion, I didn't expect much, of the main selling point is Beyond Light. Not many people are gonna care for Season 100, they still do Beyond Light. Next season is when I start expecting to have some content and stuff, but the first season I always the DLC is the main focus point. You don't want to be grinding all the season pass, all the season stuff, when you still have Beyond Light stuff to do. Unless you're like a hardcore grinder and you play all day, every day Destiny 2, and maybe you want a lot of content because you're playing a shiz ton of it. So if I were to rate Beyond Light Season 100, I would rate it a good 6 to 7, average to slightly above average. Take it as you will. So, in the end of the story, do I recommend you to buy Beyond Light? Yes, definitely, 100%. Do I recommend you buying Season of the Hunt? If you want more content, some extra content, some more stuff to do, definitely. I buy every season just because I'm a huge fan of Destiny, and since Destiny separated from Activision, they don't have the ginormous wallet they did back then. So in my opinion, I feel like every money, all the dollars you get will help out and see definitely on the servers. That's a topic for another story. But every dollar helps by me. So in my opinion, I always try, and just because I want to support Bungie's, because I love the Destiny series. I wanted to do good. I want better content, more content. I spend at least $20 a season, and I buy every season pass, even if it's poo-poo, I still buy it, because I love Destiny. It's my favorite. I love Destiny. It's one of my favorite FPSs. I wanted to do this. So, obviously I'm gonna say, yeah, buy Season of the Hunt. But if I'm being truly honest, like I said, if you want some extra content, buy it. I highly recommend it. It's a decent DLC. But to beat every season is only 10 bucks, or from whatever, if I remember correctly, if you buy the deluxe edition, it'll be on $80 or $7. You get Season of the Hunt and the next 3 seasons all for free. Could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure you get all 4 seasons for free if you buy the deluxe edition of Beyond Light, which to some people might be worth it, because there's also an exotic called the No Time to Explain, exotic sparrow that you can only get from buying the deluxe edition of Beyond Light. Some people and also for people who don't know, they did remove content from the game. A lot of people should know they removed removed a bunch of planets. They removed a bunch of activities. We were curious. Here's how the map looks now. They removed Titan, Io. There's another planet I forgot. Mercury, Mars. They removed those planets. They got rid of the 3 Leviathan raids: Leviathan, Eater of Worlds, Crown of Sorrow, Inspire Stars. They removed Scourge of the Past. They removed the forages. Basically, I think they removed almost everything from Forsaken. You know, not including the Tangled Surrender City that stayed, but they removed those locations, those raids, some activities, and not only did we get Europa, we also got Cosmodrome, which for people who do know, is a returning location from D1. So unlike Forsaken, where we got 2 brand new locations that we've never seen in Beyond Light, we get Europa and also the Cosmodrome. One completely new, one reimagined. And also they got rid of Gambit Prime, and now it's only Gambit, where it's the best parts of Gambit and the best parts of Gambit Prime. So it's one round, just like Prime, but you can instantly start doing DPS phase just like normal Gambit, which in my opinion a lot more better. And also they've added new titles with Beyond Light: Deep Crypt, the Beyond Light one, Splintered, Descended, and Warden for the seasonal ones. And for people who are curious, I have the Dredgen title, MMXX, Forerunner, Savior, and Reckoner. For the people who are curious. But like I said, in my opinion, do I recommend you to go out and buy Beyond Lights? Yes, definitely, 100%. Season of the Past, Season of the Hunt. That's for you to answer. For me, of course, I wouldn't highly recommend it just because, you know, it's good. It's good TV, but you can live without it. In my opinion, I would recommend you go buy it. Do I highly recommend you go out and buy it? It would be a better deal just to buy Deluxe Edition. So you can get all 4 seasons. Because it's $20 additional. You're basically paying for 2 passes, and the other 2 are basically free. Or you can look at it that you're paying $20 for the extra content in the books. And that is my review. Beyond Light, 8 out of 10. Season of the Hunt, 6 to 7 out of 10. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my review from probably about a year or something. Not uploading, and I do apologize, but you probably hear from a lot of YouTubers. I want to see YouTube as something that I enjoy doing and not something that is I have to. Yeah, who knows, maybe I could have probably been popular or like having some good subs or whatever by now, but honestly, I want to do this because I enjoy doing it, not because I'm like, oh, I have to upload another video. And yeah, some people are like, oh, it's probably not your... It's like, oh, then don't do it if you go a year without it, but I enjoy YouTube, yeah, I do. I just don't... I don't want to keep doing it every single day if that's not for me. Some people can upload every day, and I commend them, that's a lot of work. But for me, I still not...
Guardian, I'm seeing a big spike in Vex activity. You should go shut that down.
Weekly, but I know I've said this before, but I'm see if I can do at least a weekly schedule. Or I can at least see if I can upload another video once or twice a week. And I do plan to do another video. Will it be out this week? I don't know, probably not, but I do have another video planned on State of Decay 2, the new lethal mode that recently came out. So I do have a second video planned. I'm not sure if it'll be out this week or next week, but hopefully watching this very consistent YouTuber and his upload schedule. enjoyed this review and maybe have a better understanding if you should buy Beyond Light and Season 9. So, like and subscribe and keep on glitching in those video games.